4 unique ways to grow on Instagram. We've heard of some of the other ones before, and they're usually hacks and how to get around certain tricks on Instagram. We're not talking about any of those. We're talking about tried and true actual techniques that we've used ourselves to help grow our accounts.
So I had a big think about this because I thought, right, there are ways to grow. Absolutely, there are ways to grow. But would I recommend all of them? No. I have, and I am sure that you all know as well, there are lots of ways to grow, but not necessarily grow the people you want. One of the big things, and I have a film and TV background, love my video marketing, love my film, TV production. So I'm bringing in a little bit of this, all right? And it is, think about your favorite Netflix series. When they bring out a new series, when they bring out a new episode, right? When they drop them 1 week at a time, you're like, ugh, come on, give it to me all at once, right? Just True. Like that, you're coming back to Netflix each week to see the next episode, right? So what we're seeing right now is an example of this. So find something that your audience, and when I say your audience, I mean the people you're actually trying to bring into your world, right? Who will actually buy your offers, who will buy whatever you're selling, who will, who you're trying to help. Find something that you can turn into a series. So this is going to be something of value that you can give a part 1, part 2, episode 1, episode 2, right? And in that way, they keep coming back, because if people are following, they want to stick around. There's something that, a reason for them to come back. So if you don't have that, reoccurring value that they can see guaranteed, it's going to be a lot harder to get that follow button. To ensure that it is in line with who you're trying to bring in, this is a brilliant way. So for me, one of the ways that I did this was I started sharing. We offer Reels management. We help businesses with their video marketing, of course, as well. So what I started to do was I started to show the behind the scenes of me creating product tutorials to show that it didn't have to be these fancy cameras. It didn't have to be overly hard. And I showed how I did it, and then I showed the results. I started to do part 1, part 2, and suddenly that started to gain this momentum, and the same people kept coming back. So not only was it great for growth, but it was also great for that maintained engagement, because my audience kept coming back looking for that. And I could go back to the last one and say, go check out the new one. So definitely a series that people want to cling on to is a great way to grow.
I thought long and hard about this, and I really want to specifically talk to the people that my offers are for, because it's a different group and a different breed of humans. So the people that I specifically work with are owner-operated small business owners. Now, this means literally the restaurant owner who is still doing his own payroll, okay? They don't have a huge team of people. Their team of humans are the dishwasher, the chefs, the cooks, right? The bussers, right? The hostess. This is their team. It's not like they have an office full of human beings that you could just be like, all right, here's your to-do list for the day. Like, you do this. Let's have 18 meetings that could have been an email, and we're going to get on with our day, right? So it's just so completely different, because you really have to take a step back and say, okay, what do I actually want from showing up on social media? And I can almost guarantee you, if you are a small business owner, you don't want it to be thousands and bajillions of followers, because those people are not in your town and cannot physically walk in to your location to have dinner.
Great point.
So, like, if you're reaching people in, like, Zimbabwe, like, they can't come eat your pasta. Like, what are you doing? So you really have to nail down who the heck are you talking to. And in your content, you really have to be so specific, saying, if you are in Fredericksburg, Virginia, please come try this. Or have you tried this dish if you live in this town, right? Or any surrounding areas, right? You really have to stay in a specific bubble. And obviously we work with small business owners that are online businesses as well. But even in their content, it's very specifically tailored to who they are talking to. So for example, I have another client that is, she does grief retreats as well as curated grief boxes for people who are in those different stages of grief. So we have to be very specific in who we are talking to. Like if you lost someone 50 years ago, you're not in the same place mentally, physically, emotionally as someone who just lost someone a month ago, right? So you really have to make sure who you're talking to can get what they need to get from what you have to offer. So I feel like that's a very different approach to what we're seeing online right now, because there's just no blanket statement that works for all of these businesses. And you have to be so laser focused on what your business needs in this moment. I promise you it is not what you're seeing. Please don't do it. Please do not waste your time. I'm like, do your payroll before you forget to pay your staff, okay? Get off the Instagram Explore page, please.
Yes.
So,
coming together in collaboration with a sense of direction, not just like, oh, random, let me choose somebody like a friend that I already have in real life to just collaborate with, but having an intention of who you're collaborating with is somebody who has a similar audience. It doesn't have to be the exact same. So for instance, I help small businesses and creators, entrepreneurs grow their Instagram and monetize with passive income. But I like to collaborate with people who help local businesses and people who help with Reels creation or people who help specifically with design and Canva. Like all of these play into what I do, but they're not the exact same thing. It's also okay to do the exact same niche, but I don't want anyone to limit themselves of like, I have to do the exact same one. I also don't want people to feel like it's not a competition, and it's not about should I collaborate only with people with X amount of followers, right? Because I could collaborate with somebody who has 1,000 followers. That one person in their audience is so connected to our collaboration, and then they come over, follow me, and come into my DMs, and we have a conversation, and they're like, hey, I want to work with you one-on-one, which is my highest paid offer, and that's worth it, right? Like we've got to think about the big picture and our overall goal, not just to gain followers. Gaining followers in order to support the rest of our goals here on Instagram is so important. And let's be honest, collaboration's fun, right? Like I am so excited that you guys are here. Instagram should be fun. So definitely finding ways to collaborate and finding ways to connect in a genuine sense.
My favorite way to go off of Instagram is off of Instagram. Take the growth idea off of Instagram onto the other platforms that you're already on. I am positive that nobody here watching right now is on only one social media platform, and I doubt that it would be just Instagram. The multiple of us right now are on Threads, we're on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we have audiences there as well. We can't just assume that those audiences already know to find us on Instagram. So we got to take advantage and actually reach out to them in various ways. That's just one way to do it digital. And then if you want to go even a step further, some of us already have newsletters. Those people that jump onto our newsletters might be from YouTube or just elsewhere. Let them know that you have an Instagram account as well, and they can find you there also. Then there's the non-digital way. It might sound a little bit old school, but business cards are still in fashion. You go to a lot of these conferences nowadays, people are still handing out business cards just as they used to back in the day. And as well as one of the greatest ways that I still think in regards to marketing is word of mouth. Simply telling people where to find you and let them go and spread the word for you as if they're your own ambassadors. I think taking it kind of off of the platform takes it to a whole nother level, because now you're reaching people that haven't even heard of you. Let them know that you're on Instagram and tell them how to find you. And there's even one way that works on both digital and non-digital, and that's QR codes. You can use QR codes because everybody on Instagram has a QR code to their profile. You could use that whether it's on the business card or at the bottom of an email footer. It works both non-digital and digital. So those are other ways that you can actually take people to your Instagram account from other places outside of Instagram. But I hope that you guys were able to take a lot of the tips and values from our discussion in regards to 4 unique ways on how to grow on Instagram. Go ahead and take all of that information, and like I always say, step your grandma.
I'm actually curious, everybody here in the audience, we have a great mixture of people who are just starting, not really sure what they want to do, people who are entrepreneurs, people who are small business owners, people who are just showing up and creating great content to do influencing work and, affiliate work. Why are you here on Instagram? Let us know in the comments. Are you a small business? Are you just starting out? Are you just getting your feet wet? Are you creating content for UGC? Let us know in the comments what you do, because tips that you're getting here today, can be applied to literally everybody based on what your specific desire is and your outcome in different ways. Let us know in the comments. I'm very interested to see who we have